A little gum nation. Pretty dark. I know. I know. So, I know it's been a long time, and I know there's been a whole lot of stuff going on, so I'll make it brief. I've been very busy with coding, and today I finally got a little breather. Just a little bit. I mean, you might see me here a bit, for a little bit here and there for my breathers, just so I keep my mind focused. However, I have recently finished Shadows Rising. Um, I, I don't know how I feel about it, man. I don't know how I feel about it. I really don't. And here's why. Okay? And I'm going to be straight to the point. First of all, as reference, I don't mind them doing certain themes or certain subjects in a book. You know? I don't mind that. I don't mind what happened. Oh, by the way, before I go any further, this is a spoiler alert. So skip this video if you don't want any spoilers about the new book. So I'm going to get straight down to it. In 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, first of all, Thanos is pretty much both a badass and an asshole. I said it. He's both. Here's how. So, basically, they actually give backstory on Thanos enough to know what happened. That ain't what he looked like. What he looks like right now in the game and so forth is not how he's supposed to look like at all. Because his flesh got completely unrecognizable. Like, completely. So, you know what happened? So, his cousin also died. Now, his cousin's a paladin. Pretty much, windrunner and some other people pretty much took his cousin's parts and literally put him on Thanos because they're family blood related and it will work. So the Thanos doesn't look like that. That's what his cousin looked like. Okay? There. I said it. Even Bod Zombie referenced his cousin on this whole thing. Representing that it was a sore thumb. And then Thanos said he didn't have control of it. Which is true. He did not. Okay? I mean, he was just he was a ghoul. Like every other thing that happened between Lordaeron and the Silver Moon. Okay? We got that knocked out. Okay? No problem there. Now, when it comes to certain topics, I'm okay with certain characters having relationships and all that. Alright? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the bromance in the novel. There is a bromance in the novel, and that's with Spy Master Shaw and Flynn. Alright. Fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind, them going to Zandalar after surviving 3 stupid storms caused by the spider people. We'll get to that in a minute. So, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Okay? But there's just some things that the way it was written was just a little, alright, well, can we move on? No, okay, we gotta go in that detail. Which is fine. There's eyes that love that stuff. It's just for me, it's a little too much sprinkles there, if you get what I'm saying. Okay, I don't need to know the details of Shaw's ultimate man vacation, alright? Put that out there. Don't need to know that. Now, probably wonder what happened. What happened? How did this whole thing start? I'll put it simply. So remember when Jaina killed King Rakakon, or whatever his face is? Rastican? Okay? Problem was, the Alliance put a pillar down, and it pretty much destroyed Tianda's best friend. Both mentally and somewhat physically. It destroyed her leg to the point where she was like half live, half undead, okay? That's how bizarre this thing goes. And what she did was, she literally gathered up some rebels and pretty much reserved the Spider Queen, okay? So the Spider Queen was a thing. That was pretty much 1/3 of the whole book is based on this whole spider thing. Now, Spider Queen, was working with Thanos, who was working with Windrunner. So this all happened before Windrunner broke the crown. So keep this in mind. This is all background information. Okay? With that background information being said, so Nathaniel is given order to pretty much kill Boss Zombie. Which, we think, well, he's already dead. He's like, Loas are not technically dead. They only die by the lack of worshippers, okay? So, basically, the Tonda didn't want to bargain anymore because she didn't like the fact that she was weak because Basami's was weak. But here's the tongue twister. You remember that whole gear of death thing? Bazambi was making sure that the Zandalari trolls, as well as some other stuff, I don't know the details of what extent that goes, he saved their souls from the Maw, and it cost him a great seize of power. That's how come he wasn't the almighty powerful thing. And that's the reason why he demanded King Raskon to make sure that they obeyed him. Okay, as a Loa, which is fine. It's actually probably a good thing, considering, geez, I mean, if everyone dies, it'd be kind of a good idea to have a buddy on that side. One thing, audience would agree with me. So, and they didn't know that until Sakan had a very close encounterment. Okay? Zappy Boy, which by the way, he got called Zappy Boy by Zombie, so Zombie's like the fan base, making decisions. Chanda is like the Jaina from Mr. Pandaria, but instead of having, 3-5 expansions later, realizing, maybe it's not a good idea to, obliterate people. She kind of went over that for the course of a few months, or whatever the extension of the time frame of the book is. Okay, she pretty much she learned her lesson, and the story short is, the bond between her and Bon Zombie, basically the Zandalari Empire and Bon Zombie, exists still, which is a good thing, because, he's a fan favorite now with Zappy Boy. Okay? It could have been someone else. Now, he's not the leader of the Trolls. Okay, Zaxxon is just an ambassador for the Zandalari. Okay, and the fact that they didn't really get a relationship out of that, that's fine. I'm okay with that because, she's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man. He is a Zappy Boy. And Zappy Boy, well, you get it. He's a boy. He zaps things. He still learns stuff. The cool thing is, Bon Zombie actually showed Zappy Boy where Sour Fang went. Okay, and Sour Fang is in a good place now. Okay? We're cool with that. Okay? He's with his son and his wife. Leave it be. Let's see. What else? Oh, right. The Alliance. Oh, here we go. So, Thrall went to the Night Elves. He tried to make an apology. Well, as you know, as the Night Warrior, you don't just apologize to the Night Warrior. She pretty much demanded Thrall to bring Windrunner's head. Okay? We all expected that. That's all she ever wanted. She don't care about nothing else. In the end of that agreement, Thrall did capture a certain undead warden. And literally got her to Stormwind. And explained to Tiana that, or Night Warrior, let's just make it short, that, hey, this is a start of what I promised. And they were floored. And I'm not going to go in the cell interview because there's no point. Just so you know. There's no point going in the cell or anything like that. All you need to know is that we captured the person we've been fighting on that Dark Shore event that we did that one thing when it came out. Okay? We got the Alliance capture her. Okay? And you're probably thinking, oh, Gum's just signed with the Alliance because of bias. No bias. Okay? We got her. Now Shari, or whatever the undead warden, was with Brightcaller up until the point. See, the Alliance and the Horde, pretty much, well, more so the Horde, raided. Everyone was at Ben Zombie's temple at some point, okay? And including Nathanos. Nathanos there, Shari's there, and pretty much it was a massacre. It was not massacre, but it was like, if you like the horror stuff, that chapter 20-something is for you. Okay? Because Thanos pretty much did some really fucked up shit. On top of all the other fucked up shit he already did. Alright? Thanos literally had a girl taken part by part. Little girl. Okay? Now, that could be re-clarified, but that's as far as I read. or remember, whatever. I had a little drink on a raid last night, so you know. But anyways, the Thanos, he's starting to feel the human emotions a little bit, because not only did Bazami taunt him about his cousin having his cousin's body, okay, he also had to give up something valuable, and that was there was a little trinket, a little necklace he had around his neck that Windrunner gave him for being the best archer of all that, you know, Silver Moon area. Okay, I don't remember exactly what, and he had to give that up to the Spider Bitch. Why I call her Spider Bitch? Because literally she's literally like, it's like Gollum, okay? It's like Gollum, except for instead of obsessing over a ring, it's over obsessing about killing her friend and living long enough just to see that and die. Okay, that's the whole premise. Okay, she's the one calling the storm. She dies, basically the storm goes away. Okay, that type of magic nonsense. So, anyways, so Tiandre, basically the revenge of Proudmoore is over. As far as her concerned, she realized that, okay, my people were about to be extinct because I didn't accept help from the Horde. That's because the whole Jaina conflict thing. Her own personal agenda got in the way for her people, and she realized that. And especially when Zappy Boy almost literally died. I'm not going to say how, but let's just say Zappy Boy is probably the first person to go to the mall and come back. Briefly. That's all I'm going to say. And Bon Zombie helped him. Okay, so we all know Bon Zombie's actually a friend. He makes deals because he's actually relatable to one of my other characters. Let's just say that at the least. As for the Alliance, though, I have a little bonus pick. Ilaria Windrunner and Talion, or however, the Paladin dude. Okay, we call him Paladin, yet to be King dude, because it's spoilers. They are both really fucked up. Okay, Nathanos, evil character. We all know he's going to do some crazy shit. Got it. Spider Queen. Not as crazy, but intentions are crazy. Fine. Villain. Got it. Okay? The Night Warrior. Fine. We get it. She's going to become a raid boss 3 expansions from now or something. Fine. I get that. Same thing with Jaina. Same thing with a lot of other characters. But Ilaria and Tiana teaming up over the course of trying to find Windrunner had tortured people. Mind raped people to get the information out of people that were once human. Yes, they tortured Forsaken. They tortured a Mother Orc, nonetheless. Straight up mind flayed with the void and shackled by the light. Okay? And you know what? Jaina was like, hold up, this method's not a good idea. This is not what we signed up for, and you guys got comfortable with that. Because the first time they did it, it was kind of hard. Then after the 5th, whatever time, they were like, chain, mind flake, go. They had it down. And Jaina was like, Anduin's got to hear about this. So she went to Anduin. You know what Anduin had to say? I'll tell you what that Lion Boy had to say. Whatever means necessary. Anduin sided with the pretty much Anduin could have been a good candidate for being a raid boss next expansion, because I count Shadow as next expansion. So we count him as that. So Anduin is already looking that way, but he's still Anduin, alright? He's still Anduin, and eventually the Horde and the Alliance met up because Shaw got captured because he didn't want Flynn and the rest of the crew to die. Okay? So he got captured, he got in the cell, and then we saw his dream, and, you know, yada yada yada. Alright? So pretty much, when we get to ICC, which pretty much no one knew where Windrunner was until that point where we saw it. We knew where she was first out of everybody in the whole story regarding us people, not players. Anyways, so she shows up there, breaks the crown, you know, whatever. And then Bright Color shows up because, he had a vial to teleport him to ICC. So he obviously beat the Lich King, got the locket, right? So he could just pull it over. Windrunner gave it to him, whatever. He had a port to go over there. He escaped Bon Zombie's Nexus to go to Ice Crown, all right? She asked him, did he fail? She looked at him, and basically he had to explain that he failed. And she said, doesn't matter. We got this under control. It's no big deal. It's just an inconvenience. More of an inconvenience that could potentially become a threat. Yada, yada, yada. Brightcrawler said he has some things to take care of before he departed to the mall or whatever you want to have him. So basically, he's not going to be in Shadowlands right away. He has some business to take care of, which is probably something to do with the pre-patch or something. All I know is that chances are he's not going to make it after this expansion. Alright, he's probably not going to make it past the pre-patch. He might come back here and there or be referenced, but most likely he's just... He might not be there much longer. Windrunner, on the other hand, could be. I mean, she made a deal with the jailer after the leap up ICC and all that, but, it's just going to be there. Tyrion and Ilaria are not coming with us in Shadowlands, I believe. If they do, it will be a surprise to me. But most likely, they're going to be ones running Stormwind while Anduin is away. Unfortunately, Anduin gets sucked in too, which raises a lot of other questions. The Prophet's not being sucked in. He's part of Light, so he'll be like, yay, Light. It's pretty much just going to be the Light. Alliance is going to have Light and Void, but more so Light. And the Horde is going to still be the same Horde with the Council part. Not so much as Claria Menethil taking over for a second. This is not happening. She's just there to witness. She's there to learn how the Horde works, how this whole Forsaken thing works. Because she's not technically Forsaken. And the reason why I say that is because she was not raised by the Banshee Queen or anything like that. No, she was raised by the Light. Okay, Derek Proudmoore is a Forsaken. Get that clarified. But however, he cleansed himself of whatever Windrunner was going to do. Pretty much what the Lich King did to the pretty much every single other undead anyways. So pretty much, long story short, she is not Forsaken. Okay? She is just a redeeming light of that of a dead person. Okay? Big difference in Forsaken. Forsaken, they were either killed by the Lich King or some other creature and brought back by the Valkyrie or whatever have you. Alright? Now, this video has gone long enough for the whole entire book of a nice summary, but here's the story short. We need Christine Golden to write the next one, please. Just please. It had balance somewhat. Because this book, to me, it was good for what it was target audience was, but for me, personally, I felt like certain things were dragged on. I mean, if you go back before the storm, perfect structure. We had, flips back, forth a little bit. Not like, okay, we got this chapter done. Oh, okay, we're going to go back on. Nope, we're still on the same story. So it kind of makes it one big chunk, which is, in this, some of it made sense because they had to travel different places, which is cool. But we didn't get much Alliance. This is more of a Horde-based book, which is fine. It is good. It's just, you don't hear much of the Alliance. It's fine. That's fine. You don't hear much anyways. You don't see Greyman much in this book. I'm sorry. You don't see him. So pretty much, if you're a Greyman fan, you're just going to probably read this book and be like, where's Greyman at? Where's Greyman at? Is he there? No? Okay. If you're a person who wants to know what's going on, this is a good book, but I recommend just go through videos instead. But if you're going to be dedicated to lore, yeah, we have to kind of bite the bullet on this one. Anyways, I give this book a 3 out of 5 stars only because, there could have been more action involved with it, and I'm not sure if it's the author's fault or whatever. And the spending like a chapter on Shaw's dream, and a little overkill. I know we got to see Saul's heart and all that, but it could have been a little bit better. I mean, it's just too much focus on one thing, not enough on the other thing. That's what I view it as. And Before Storm has a 4 out of 5 only because of the fact that, we didn't get it confirmed Anduin being Arthur's son. So there you go. Anyways, come out.